record your answers for you for this. All right, number one, a force is a push or a pull, gives energy to the object, can cause an object to change its motion, or D, can do all the above. So yes, D. All right, no force is necessary to cause a change in the motion of an object. Balanced forces are usually opposite and equal, B. When forces are balanced, the motion of the object does not change. An unbalanced force cannot leave motion unchanged because unbalanced forces cause motion to change. All right, the tendency of an object to resist change in its motion is called inertia. All right, force. Newton's second law. Force equals mass times acceleration. 8. When there is a change in speed or direction, the force present is unbalanced. For every action, the reaction is equal and opposite. Okay, on to the back side. All right. Newton's first law of motion describes motion when a balanced force acts on an object, motion when an unbalanced force acts on an object. When forces act in pair, all aspects of an object's motion. Okay, remembering that Newton's first law is the law of inertia, therefore an object in motion will stay in motion, or an object at rest will stay in rest, basically means that unless acted on by an outside force, so that's motion when an unbalanced object, boom, because it takes an unbalanced force to move the object. All right, motion when an unbalanced force acts is described by Newton's first law. Actually, it's, there's unbalance. When anything is put into motion, it's actually all three. You can argue for all three. Allegedly, it's the first one, but you won't have this question on your test, so don't worry about it. All right, Newton's third law of motion describes, all right, it's also B, because basically, when the object starts moving, it's an unbalanced force. But it's B or it's C, because remember, it's the action reaction. So if you get this answer, if you get this test question, you'll only have one answer from these two to choose from. All right, what can be measured in newtons? So if you remember from that last assignment I gave you, weight is gravity times mass, and that gives you the answer in newtons. So A. Mass varies with the amount of matter in the object. C. A force that opposes motion is friction. Inertia is not a force. Inertia is just a concept of an object not wanting to move or resisting a change in motion. So the only force there is actually A. Okay, car traveling at 90 kilometers per hour. When it suddenly stops, the passengers in the car will continue to move in a straight line. All right, the distance traveled by an object per unit time is called speed. Velocity is speed with a specific direction. C. Backside 19. A change in position relative to a frame of reference is called motion. Motion is measured by distance and time. All right. You look out your window and see a skateboarder in front of your house, and 2 minutes later you look up and see her several houses away. You can use this information to describe her. Well, actually, first of all, you can describe her change in position, and then if you were to go out and measure and all that, you could find speed, velocity, and acceleration. But from that, you can just do change of position. All right, it takes 1 hour to drive 20 kilometers through a city during a rush hour. Your speed is 20 kilometers an hour. All right, okay, that blank speed is called average speed. If an object starts to accelerate, hey, guess what? An unbalanced force is acting on it. You'll see a pattern here with unbalanced forces. Unbalanced forces get stuff to move. All right, when forces are balanced, the total force is 0. Remember, when we have this object just sitting here, worked on by the force of gravity, the normal force pushing up and the force of gravity pushing down, sorry about that little mistake, they're equal, so you subtract those and it gets 0. All right, the reaction force occurs after the action force, because action comes before the reaction. All right, a soccer ball takes 20 seconds to roll 10 meters. What is average speed for the soccer ball? So its speed is distance over time, so 10 divided by 20 is half a meter per second. All right, when an object is at rest, what is its speed? All right, people, if I'm just sitting here, I'm going 0 meters per second. All right, which describes how velocity changes with time. All right, velocity changing with time, that's known as acceleration. Okay, last page here. All right, person is not computing. All right, this is because of inertia. And I just lost my... All right, just lost my highlighter. Good thing I have another one. All right, term for speed at any instant of time is instantaneous speed. Newton's first law of motion states an object stays in rest unless, guess what? Here's the theme, unbalanced force. All right, greatest inertia. Remember, greater the inertia, the greater the mass. Of course. So, which one of these has the most mass? Baseball, bowling ball, pencil, toothpick? Bowling ball. Alright, a force is exerted on a box. An equal opposite force is exerted by the box. Alright, so, equal and opposite, Newton's third law. Alright, so, these are all solved using F equals ma, or weight equals gravity times mass. All right, so what force would require to accelerate a 40 kilogram mass by 4 meters per second? So 40 times 4 is 160 newtons. How large is the mass if a force of 100 newtons is required to accelerate it by 1 meter per second? So remember, mass is force divided by acceleration, so 100 divided by 1 is 100 kilograms. All right, the way the product of the mass is accelerated due to gravity. All right, what is the mass of a person who weighs 500 newtons? We don't use 9.8, we're going to use 10. So basically, we just rearrange the weight, because it's going to be weight over gravity, so it's going to be 500 divided by 10, and that will give us his mass of 50 kilograms. All right, how much in newtons does a 40 kilogram weigh? So remember, mass times gravity, so 40 times 10 is 400 newtons. Okay, so in the rest of these, don't even worry about it. You're just going to have basic weight and force problems for this test. Well, next test will be more in depth and have momentum and other stuff on there. For those of y'all online, I need this test done quickly. Which is why I will put it up as soon as you get these answers checked. All right, everybody out there, have a good day, good rest of the week. Just get all your assignments in.